Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. It has continued to move sideways. A bit of a shame because normally you start to see a bit of a breakout towards the weekly candle close. Now, this week we don't have too many catalysts, I think, for the crypto market in terms of financial reports. A major one that is coming up is on Friday, which is the core PCE data, the inflation data. Typically generates some volatility. CPI is more important in my opinion. Also the interest rate decisions are more important. However, core PCE is still a metric that the Fed uses, actually one of the most relevant ones. But of course, because CPI comes out earlier in the month, typically CPI gets a bit more focus. Nevertheless, on Friday, I think we'll do another live stream as core PCE preparation. But ideally, we see a breakout before. I'd like to see a breakout this week, try to get that sorted here. Moving out of the range, you can see volatility is already reducing. Volume is reducing actually in this range in which Bitcoin is currently trading. And that's typically a characteristic for such a triangle, for an Elliott Wave triangle. Surely it can continue to break out to the upside, which is why I say that to really get a confirmation that it moves to the downside. And I think Bitcoin is due a pullback in an ideal world. So that's the primary count here on the lower time frame, to see a break to the downside. But Elliott Wave tells us what is the level we need to see break to get confirmation. That is the B wave low of the Elliott Wave triangle. That is the $27,000 level. So when that breaks, ideally I would like it to see roll into at least this support area between 24,940 and 26,270. That's the downside breakout point. Yeah. If we talk about this triangle, we've got the wave A. So a triangle is a 5-wave move, right? Consists of corrective wave structures. The way it looks to me, I mean, yeah, triangle could be complete already. With that move down, might have been the D wave, the move up, the E wave. But it's just not reliable because we have so far not really seen the typically impulsive breakouts to the downside. You normally see that. So at the moment, I'd rather say, okay, wave C was finished. Wave D might still be in the making and the wave E is still unfolding. So I think the wave count so far is working out. Yeah, we've been talking about the triangle, I think already on Friday. And I think it's typically the right call to expect a triangle on the weekend. And I think it's a B wave triangle, right? I mean, other interpretations are possible. This could also already be the 1-2 setup. Yeah, wave 1 down, wave 2 up of the C wave with the wave 3 to follow next. But it wouldn't really make a difference in the short term. And we would also look for a breakout to the downside. A few people suggested this could be a so-called diamond top pattern. Yes, indeed, but it doesn't really make a difference. There is, first of all, no diamond top pattern in Elliott Wave. We've got the Elliott Wave triangle. It would lead to a similar outcome. Yeah, it's just sort of a different way of looking at it, but it's the same outcome anyway. Diamond top pattern is a pattern which would suggest a breakout to the downside. Bear in mind, the Elliott Wave pattern and also the diamond top pattern don't always work, of course. Markets tend to repeat market structure and outcomes, but not always, right? So we need to be aware of the key pivot points, thresholds, breakout confirmations. And here with a break to the downside, the B wave triangle break will be the best confirmation signal we get to the downside, and that is $27,015. If we see a break to the upside, I really need to see a break above the A wave high, which is at 28,850, to indicate that the triangle is invalid. In that case, we would expect continuation to the upside to 30K plus. So of course, direct continuation to the upside is very much possible. It is very much in line with a higher degree scenario that suggests we are actually in the third wave. That we are in the third wave. So that would just continue to follow the pattern on the larger degree. The movements here to the downside, I think it's due, but of course the market doesn't need to do it. The trend is up. So if the trend is up, crypto sometimes escalate quickly into the trend direction without deep pullbacks. So I can show you here is only the ideal structure where Bitcoin ideally goes into before it recovers and rallies and continues with the third wave. We also have the idea that either this is a 1-2 setup or a large 1-2 setup, which would result in a deeper drop into the yellow box, but as long as we're holding generally 21,550, the focus can be on higher. It's not possible at this stage to say, does Bitcoin need a deep correction or just a shallow one? But if I take the so-called triangle thrust, so the height of the triangle at the beginning of the triangle, and add it to a possible wave E high. Now again, I don't really know where E wave will finish, but let's say it will be there somewhere. Then it would send us down directly into the orange support area. So from whatever is reasonable, it would be expected to see a bit of a correction down. But if we break above that A wave high, we are just continuing without a deeper pullback. And we need to be open to both because the trend is up. So you always need to be prepared for direct escalation to the upside. In the short term, we also need to be prepared for downside because the lower degree pattern at least suggests it with that triangle, yeah, or the so-called diamond top pattern, which is possible as well. So yeah, just be prepared. Just be aware of the key support levels below which scenarios change. And that would be basically below 21,550. But even then, we don't need to be going into full bear mode. It is just moving back into the deep support area here in green, but we're far away from that. So we will focus on that should we get closer. But for now, the overall trend is up with a strong possibility to see a deeper pullback before continuing that uptrend. But as I said, they can always escalate directly. And in case of a breakout of the triangle to the upside, it's going to move up most likely. So in a triangle, triangles show you a balance of forces. So the market again hasn't made up its mind yet. A lot of indecision just below the 30k resistance, and therefore we just need to wait for the breakout, have a bit of patience, and when everybody gets bought out, you typically start to see that impulsive move. What I don't want to say promise you, but pretty much when we see this triangle break, we should expect a strong impulsive move. All right, that's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.